hi there. I didn't hear you come in. I was just reading one of my favorite works of all time, The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Now, where was I? Long, long ago in King Arthur's day, there was a knight who was a lusty liver. One day, as he came riding from the river, he saw a maiden walking all forlorn. Ahead of him, alone as she was born. And of that maiden, spite all she said, by the very force he took her maidenhead.
Whoa! Dang, girl. You hella fine. Let me have that. Check out what I got. This act of violence caused such a stir, so much petitioning to the king for her, that he condemned the knight to lose his head. By course of law, he was as good as dead. It seems that the statute then took that view, but that the queen and other ladies too implored the king to exercise his grace, so ceaselessly he gave the queen the case.
The punishment for what you took from that young girl is death. But I've decided to spare your life. In return, you have a year and 1 day to tell me what women truly want, or you're dead.
He knocked at every house, searched every place, yes, anywhere that offered hope of grace. What could it be that women wanted most? But all the same time he never touched a coast, country or town in which there seemed to be any two people willing to agree.
Come in. Hello there.
I'm on a quest.
Quest for what?
I need to find out what women want.
What women want? Why do you need to know that?
Because the queen's going to kill me if I don't.
Alright, let's sit down. Whew. So you need to know what women want. I know what you could say to the queen in order for her to spare your life.
What?
Well, I'm not just going to tell you. You have to give me something in return.
What do you want?
How about if she spared your life, you give me my first request.
I can roll with that.
Alright?
Alright.
Okay.
It's been exactly 1 year and 1 day since you sent me away, and I've found what you asked me to.
And?
All ladies want is to be equal. How's that?
You're correct. You can keep your life.
Yes. Well, it's real nice having my life back and everything, what with the queen deciding to spare me.
Aha!
Ah! What do you want?
You said it! The queen spared your life because of the answer I gave you.
She did, and I thank you very much for it.
Well, you owe me.
I owe you what?
Anything I request, that was the deal, wasn't it?
Seems to be. What's it gonna be?
I want you to marry me.
Ah!
My dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to marry this man and this hag. Man, do you take this hag to be your wife? Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Hag, do you take this man to be your husband?
Yes, I do.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Now peradventure some may well suspect a lack of care in me, since I neglect to tell of the rejoicing and display made at the feast upon their wedding day. I have but a short answer to let fall. I say there was no joy or feast at all, nothing but heaviness of heart and sorrow. He married her in private on the morrow, and all day long stayed hidden like an owl. It was such torture that his wife looked foul.
What a lovely ceremony. It was really nice.
Oh yeah, it was great.
What's wrong, my good husband?
I'm not particularly happy being forced to marry you at all. When you asked for a favor, I was expecting like carrying in your groceries or something. not so much marrying you.
What's wrong? I think I have a lovely home, and I don't look nearly 102.
Well, you're kind of old and ugly and poor and old. Nothing personal. I mean, it's totally cool, but it's just not my style of things, you could say.
I have wisdom. I have knowledge. I will always remain faithful to you, and you don't honor those traits?
They're very honorable, and I agree totally with that, but my stance on the issue still remains unchanged.
Well, what would a younger girl do? Would she go out with you every night and remain true and faithful and cook you a wondrous supper every night? Or will she cheat on you and not know how to cook and be stupid?
Well, you're still kind of poor.
I have the ability to make my own money. I just choose the non-materialistic life.
Well, I always have had this yearning to give up all my material possessions. I guess it's not so bad being married to you after all.
I'm glad you think that. Look up at me.
This is just like that movie Shallow Hal. So they lived ever after, to the end, in perfect bliss, and made Christ Jesus send us husbands meek and young, and fresh in bed, and grace to overbid them when we wed. And Jesus, hear my prayer, cut short the lives of those who won't be governed by their wives. And all old angry niggards of their pence, God send them soon a very pestilence. Word. Purple potion! I sip it on purple drink all day long. I'm the most frustrated actor ever.
I didn't do
Artists
it.
like
It was only with
Chaucer
Bowman, I
are
think.
great.
You had Marvel all year, didn't you?
No, I had Marvel and then Bowman.
I had Bowman and then Marvel. Or Bowman and Bowman, I should say.
Bowman.
Bowman and Bowman. It sounds like some kind of like cop show. One of them's like a loose cannon
Bowman and
cop, and
Bowman.
the other's this like wacky black guy. Bowman and Bowman, hitting the streets. I don't need this.
I think you need to name the horse.
Bernadette.
Where did it come
Faithful
from?
horse Bernadette.
It's the first name that came to mind for a horse. We have an hour until rock and roll.
What the hell is that?
It's like rock and roll, but with bowling instead of rolling.
Sexual.
Very.
I have wisdom. I have knowledge. I will always be faithful to you.
Your argument is convincing, but I remain unbudged in my opinion. Cut. I just made up that word.
I remain unbudged.